As a last score of stragglers from the overnight shift milled around the various distractions that Main Street provided, Bran heard shouting coming from the ramps behind him. His first thought was that another vat had broken open, spilling a tidal wave of sludge that would drown his workers and eat into his profits. He'd lost more money and employees that way than he ever had to gang violence. But then the sharp retort of gunfire echoed through the cavern, immediately followed by the blood-curdling screams of valuable employees dying. "Damn it," hissed Bran. "Another scabbing gang attack." He ran to the other side of the balcony to get a better look. They always attack at shift change. My Venators know that. Where are they? Bran got his answer as soon as he reached the edge of the balcony. 6 members of the Venator gang he'd hired to guard the vats lined the sides of the tunnel cut into the floor of the cavern. As Bran watched, they fired autoguns and stub pistols into the tunnel that led down to the vat level. More screams emanated from down the ramp, followed by a great gout of blood and gore, and Bran swore, a severed head that flew up into view before falling back down through the hole into the floor. To their credit, the Venators kept firing while they backed away from the entrance, the lead one shouting at the others. "They're scabbing unstoppable! What the hell is—" His exclamation was cut short by a crack of thunder as a superheated stream of plasma vaporized the Venator's chest, dissolving him into a pink sludge. The rest of the Venators retreated from the edge of the tunnel hole, but not before a second peal of thunder echoed through the cavern, and another dissolved from a second plasma bolt. Bran's feet and legs felt like lumps of lead, rooting him to the spot, despite the obvious danger to him if the 4 remaining Venators broke ranks and ran. They weren't the best, but they were what he could afford, and were more loyal than Bran deserved. The 4 survivors moved back and formed a line facing the tunnel opening. What emerged was like nothing Bran had ever seen before. The monstrous beast stood at least 2 meters tall, and its barrel-shaped chest was nearly a meter across. Its legs and arms were as big around as the torsos of the Venators facing it. What looked like conspicuously well-made, albeit worn, armor plates were strapped across its shoulders and center mass. It carried a shield as big as a door in one hand and a metal club the size of a normal man's leg in the other. The Venators opened fire as soon as the beast's metal-plated face appeared, but their autoguns and stub pistol shots bounced off the creature. Once it cleared the hole, the beast roared and slammed its massive club against its shield as if in challenge. The Venators dropped their projectile weapons and drew long fighting knives, axes, and flails, but none were brave or dumb enough to be the first to advance. Bran wasn't sure what the beast was waiting for. From his vantage point, it could easily take out the Venators with a single sweep of that gigantic club. Behind him, Bran heard another squad of his Venators rushing down Main Street to join the battle. Perhaps this fight could still swing in his favor. That's when he heard it. The grating, metallic sound of grinding gears and whining motors echoed through the caverns as a chain sword thrummed to life. Behind the beast, another figure climbed the ramp and strode into view. Although standing nearly as tall as the beast, any similarities ended there. Instead of metal plates and heavy textile clothing, the second attacker, a well-toned and muscular woman, wore a string of pearls around her neck and a black leather corset adorned with raven feathers atop an ebony lace skirt that fluttered in the air, venting up from promethium refineries down in the pit level. Flat black boots pounded the floor as she strode forward, her chainsword swinging in a dangerous arc around a powdered wig adorned with stained ornaments atop her head. She would have radiated an air of dangerous elegance if the fabric hadn't been so tattered, the feathers cracked and bare in spots, and the wig not streaked with soot and dirt. What are you waiting for, dog? Growled the woman at her companion. Attack! The beast and the woman charged, the air filled with the reverberating whine of the chainsword and the screams of the Venators. One was cut nearly clean through from her left shoulder to her right hip with a mighty swing of the thrumming blade. Another Venator dropped to the ground, missing both arms. The terror and ferocity of the attack and a deep dread of the attacker, the most recognizable and feared lunatic in the Underhive, finally freed Brand's feet from the imagined cement that had rooted him to the roof. He ran to the town side of the balcony and yelled at the oncoming reinforcements. "Protect my office!" he cried. "Inside, now! Do not engage! It's Mad Donna!"